It's time for Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai. Our last game of this segment is going to be Lions Commanders, and we want the homies to weigh in for the headline.
On, homies. Give us something creative. Well, I can't always be Johnny Creative Guy over here. Right?
I'll read all of them off for Lions Commanders, but before we get there, we got two other great games. How about the Rams, Chris, beating the Niners 42-26? What's the headline for this game?
Stafford, because he threw 4 touchdowns. That's right. I mean, hey, he's in a group. 3 games in a row
right now.
Right? 3 games in a row, 4 touchdown passes. I don't think he's thrown an interception in any of those games.
First player in NFL history to do that.
It's incredible.
3 straight regular games.
I feel like their team a little bit it's almost like a college where they're like, when we're going to showcase Matthew Stafford, it's unbelievable he's never won an MVP or even been in the conversation. We're going to make sure that happens this year. And I feel like they're good enough and McVay's cool enough to go, yeah, we're on the 1-yard line. We could probably run it in, but let's give Stafford the touchdown pass, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I love it.
And he deserves some cheapies because he's given back more than he's received in his career as far as like saving teams with great throws and great touchdown passes. I said this earlier today. I'll say it again. Matthew Stafford is one of the least talked about all-time great quarterbacks in the history of football. I mean, one, from what he's done, right? He's a Hall of Famer in my mind without a doubt. And then talent-wise is right there with anybody in the history of football. It's an all-time arm. It's an all-time arm. I mean, it really is. Okay, I might not say it's Elway or Josh Allen or Rodgers or Favre in their prime. But, I mean, when I say it's a tick-off, it's a tick-off. I mean, it's special, right? He can throw it with power. He can flick it with his wrist, right? He can throw it sidearm. He invented the no-look pass. It's Matthew Stafford. I know Mahomes gets all the credit because he does it kind of a cooler way. But Matthew Stafford threw a no-look touchdown pass yesterday. He does it on the regular. He did one last week too. So I just, for me, and I see, some quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame, other quarterbacks that are trying to get in the Hall of Fame, and I go, man, they're not Matthew Stafford. They're not. And the Rams, they were on fire yesterday, and the Rams look like a real legit Super Bowl football team right now. 4th
straight win, all by double digits.
Right.
Devontae Adams has 6 receiving touchdowns in his last 3 games. He did leave in the 4th quarter with an oblique injury, but it sounds like
hopefully it's not bad.
Yeah, it sounds like
a shake at the line of scrimmage, and then he held himself, and it was like, oh man, something in his back or whatever went up, and it was the oblique there.
Yeah, it's the Rams are absolutely rolling right now. Another thing on Stafford's arm, I think he gets bonus points for how it's aged. It's the same arm, I feel like, when he was in his 20s.
Definitely.
That's not the case for everyone.
When I say an all-time arm, that's what I mean. Like it's not going like Brady or like Mahomes or even Rodgers.
Rodgers still has a great
exactly
arm.
right.
Yeah.
These are guys that if they're in their wheelchair at 70, they're going to be able to. You're still going to go, whoa, we can throw the ball still. Holy crap!
Should make a league like that.
It's just that they're built like that. Their motions are built for it, right? And that's where they're like. Sometimes I've had this conversation where Peyton Manning, where people go, well, what about his arm? I go, yeah, his was a good arm, but it wasn't an all-time arm, and it definitely wasn't an arm that was going to last, right? Again, I talk about this a lot, and you know it. We talk about it in the draft. Like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, the throwing motion was more like this. Peyton Manning was real like old school traditional. The ball was real high up here, and he got a high release and, came down straight down, and that doesn't lend itself to great power throwing the football that way. But, damn, I mean, you can't argue the results. But the Rams, again, the way they can run the football, when they have Puka and Devontae Adams in there, right, it just causes so many headaches, how they play them off each other, and it's just too much firepower for a 49er team that's good, but being made look to like it's a little bit better because incredible coaching by Shanahan and Saleh. But they're not in the same class as some of these teams in the NFC right now. They're going to hang around. Maybe they get in the playoffs, but the 49ers are not a Super Bowl caliber football team.
Yeah, I think another clue to the Rams just having their eyes on the big picture. They're getting Blake Corum involved. They're going to keep Kyron a little fresh, which I love that. Kyron's been hurt every year of his NFL career.
Right.
It's like, no, we have our eyes set on the prize here. Blake Corum, we're going to get him going.
I think they finally got him where they want. He's lost weight. He's gotten better shape. Right, I think they trust him more that he can make more plays and make some people miss and do that. I think there was a little frustration with him for a little while of just going like, there was a hole there, and you got the minimum, right? And I think now he's starting to go, wait, I made that guy miss. I'm broken arm tackle. Watch out. He's starting to look like Kyron Williams, even in the uniform.
It's the same guy.
Exactly right. It's to me, I think he's finally got his body and realized what he's got to be a real professional in the NFL.
I agree. I know coming out of college, he was battered. Like the one thing teams looked at were like, he's pretty beat up. Maybe actually resting has brought him back to what he was as a great college player.
And I think he needed to harden his body up a little bit, right? And I'm not trying to, I've been around Blake Corum. He's an awesome dude. But, was he a little bit chubby and not maybe necessarily as rocked up as you see most running backs are rocked up?
His teammate. We had Kyron at the Super Bowl. I was like,
he's made of steel.
He looks like just a shrunken down linebacker.
He's a made of steel.
Yeah,
exactly right. And that's where I think Corum had to adjust himself a little bit for the NFL.
For the Niners, this is the most points allowed, 42, and the largest loss of this season, a 16-point differential. I mean, I watch this team, Chris, and it's a team that's just run out of people.
That's it.
That's kind of my thought.
I
don't watch them and go, why are they doing that or why are they doing this? It's a game of talent.
They're trying to. It's more like, how are they doing this?
Yes.
How are they doing
Oh, Mac Jones threw for what?
I know. I mean, Mac Jones, what did he have yesterday again? Like 4 incompletions, 6 incompletions?
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing some really good things. But, there's just not enough playmakers. And then they're not the type of team that can, fumble the ball on a drive with Juwan Jennings. That was a big moment in the football game. That hurt them. So, they got to kind of play a perfect way. But they're a good team that's going to be a pain in the butt. But I think that's all they are, and they're just not in the same class as, some of these better teams in the NFC.
The Seahawks steamroll the Cardinals 44-22. At one point, this game was even more out of hand. What do we got here, Chris?
Deja vu all over again. I mean, that's a Yogi Bearism for anybody out there, and some have, said I remind them of Yogi Bear because I mess up the English language probably more than he.
But in an entertaining way.
In an entertaining way, I guess. Yes, with my mixing of whatever phrases and everything else. But I mean, I think it's incredible where we have. Knight 48, right? I can't remember his first name. Yeah, the guy who strip sacks.
Oh, the linebacker.
Knight 48, Tyrese, excuse me. Way to go, Pete. 2 strip sacks, right? And then he knocks it out both times, and the same guy, DeMarcus Lawrence, picks up 2 fumbles and runs for a touchdown. Like, I don't remember that ever happening.
It is an oddity.
That is crazy.
Yes.
And that's why I said deja vu all over again, because, I mean, it was almost carbon copy plays going different directions where you're like, wait, Terrace Knight made the strip, and I thought I was watching a replay the first time.
Yes.
I was like, wait, is this a replay? And they were like, no, they just did it again. And I was like, what? Because we were kind of getting dressed at that moment. But you think everybody's ready to believe now?
Oh, my goodness.
You think everybody's ready to believe?
This is a statement first half.
Right? I mean, this is, again, this is one of my pride and joys because I feel like I've been saying this for a few weeks, and I have a little bit of a man crush on them as a team where I just – I watch them and I go, what's not to like? Tell me the weakness of the Seahawks right now. Tell me what it is. I mean, the only weakness right now that I think people can legitimately come up with is, will Sam Darnold be the same in the playoffs?
Well, that's everyone.
Right?
It's
that's
the
the
Daniel
only
Jones thing.
Exactly.
The Colts.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, when Daniel Jones reveals himself, the Colts will lose.
The Colts will lose. Yeah, I don't know if I believe in all that mumbo jumbo.
But that's also not even fair because if Sam Darnold loses to Matthew Stafford in the playoffs, is everyone going to be like, see, I told you so?
I know.
That's not fair either.
Idiots will say that for sure. It's like,
ridiculous.
No, the Rams are a Super Bowl team, and he's awesome quarterback. But you look at Seattle, and you just go, one, they continue to get better at running the football. I mean, they're legit there. We know they're the most explosive passing team in football. And then the defensive side of the ball, I'm in love with their defense. I said this to Florio earlier today. I was like, when I watch, film on Monday and Tuesdays before we do our pod and all that, when I get to Seattle and I watch a few teams,
right?
well, I sit there and go, damn, they look like they're in fast forward. I just watched the Steelers or the Bills, and damn, Seattle looks like, is the game in fast forward? They're moving at a different speed than the other teams I just watched. So they jump off the screen that way. Plus the size they have on the D line. Seattle is legit, can win the Super Bowl. And that was that was dominant. Nobody's done that to the Cardinals this year. The Cardinals have been the ultimate hang around.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put us away late. And they just kind of put the whammy on them right from the start in this one.
Yeah, the Cardinals are in dogfights with bad teams, and they're in dogfights with really good teams.
I know.
just the same team almost every week, especially with Jacoby Brissett. It felt like, now they have a little bit more of a floor.
Yep.
But no, they were steamrolled the second they got off the bus.
Definitely were.
Yesterday.
Yep. Seattle's a complete football team. They're one of the best in the league. We all got to get used to it.
JSN, over 1,000 yards already. It's just a remarkable season for him.
Two-headed monster running back.
Yeah, they could do it all.
The O-line's actually opening up holes and doing that. As I've always said, I think Sam Darnold is perfect for this offense because I think it simplifies life for him a little bit. It's play action. It's 1 to 2 to just check it down, or it's 1 to 2 and just run. Or it's like the way they set up the offense a little bit is different than Minnesota, where it might have been like, look at the deep comeback over here, then pat the ball twice and wait for Justin Jefferson on the 30-yard crosser, and then Addison's going to come on the 20-yard in cut behind that. And to me, that led him to holding the ball, patting the ball, get sacked, stay on a read too long.
Yeah.
This one kind of presents itself the way Kubiak, and it's the Shanahan scheme, even in their drop back pass game, it's like, hey, look for an 8-yard throw here, and then we got somebody coming into your vision who's also at 8 yards right here. So it lends itself to real quick, just get it out. And that's, to me, what Sam Darnold is really good at. And then the play-action pass is the same way, to where there's not a lot. You got to sit there and pat the ball. It's like, is 1 and 2 open? If they're not, then it's, oh, shit, figure something out, right? And I think he's perfectly comfortable in that environment.
The Rams and the Seahawks now tied atop the NFC West at 7-2, and Seattle plays at the Rams next week.
I know. That's
potential game of the year on the NFC side of things.
We got 2 NFC championship previews next week. We got Lions-Eagles on Sunday Night Football. We'll be there on the field.
Nice.
And then we're going to have Rams-Seahawks on the 4 o'clock window. That, yes, of those 4 teams, any 4 of them can be in the NFC Championship. So I'm pumped for that for sure.
Speaking of those Lions, they blow the doors off what's left of the Commanders, 44-22. What do you got here, Chris?
Cover your mouth. They could steal the plays. Right? A little play on Dan Campbell's Applebee's commercial, right? Because he called the plays
now
yesterday.
In real life. Yeah.
I mean, is he listening to the pod? Did he hear us on the pod last week on last Tuesday and go, hey, the offense isn't the same as it was with Ben Johnson.
Right.
They don't move.
Spice.
There's not as much spice. There's not as much pre-snap movement, shifts, creativity, and all of it.
Who did we say they need to get involved if they want to be their best version of themselves?
Jamison Williams.
Boom. What did you see? On one drive, it was just him.
I mean.
The whole drive.
Exactly. I loved it. I love ones, first off, the way he handled the situation, right? He did a really good job of just, in the post-game press conference, just kind of explaining it, doesn't throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the head coach. I want to jumpstart us. We need a jumpstart. So, yeah, and I love that. And, of course, he's got great feel for it. And if he's going to go down, he's going down his way. And that's what I love about Dan Campbell. And I think we all know, like Amon-Ra St. Brown's he's great. And we know that. But if they get Jamison Williams and when they have Gibbs going, they are as scary as any offense in football because they become those guys that we talk about all the time. They can score anywhere, anytime, any place, from any point in the football field. And that's what we saw yesterday. That was a butt whooping, a true butt whooping. And I'm excited to see what Dan Campbell brings to the table as we go forward here.
Well, we got to hear from him after the game on taking over the offensive play calling.
It was just let's try something a little different, right? Look, I know what I want to do. I know how I want to do it. Now, that being said, this is a collaborative effort now. I mean, I was taking input from John Morton that whole time and the other coaches. So, hey, man, what do you think here? 3rd down. All right, we get into this. 3rd and 7 plus, blah, 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 blah. All right, where are we at? Give me this. So this is all-encompassing. Man, we all work together. Coaches did a hell of a job. But I just wanted to change it up a little bit. Let's just see if maybe a different play caller can maybe get us a little rhythm.
I mean, you could see why people want to work for him and respect him.
Definitely.
Doesn't make people look bad.
Never. He's got the right touch. He's got that way that we talk about with coaches sometimes where he can yell at you, but when he's yelling at you, he really cares about you because he's had real conversations with you and cared about you as a human during the week and checks in on you and does all of that. And I think he coaches everybody the same. So everybody sees that and just goes, okay, we're all for it with this guy. They got a great way. They got a great thing going on there in Detroit because of him, because of, Spielman, as far as what he's doing in the front office and everything there. They got great leaders, and they know the kind of players they want, and they play the kind of players they want. Just like their coaches can handle a little criticism, or we're going to do this, or we're going to change that, or whatever else. But, yeah, when they get Jameson going, and like when you see Jahmyr Gibbs going, they're a scary offensive football team. Now, we'll see where it goes going forward, because as we discussed for about 4 weeks now, Washington's defense is sucky-ducky.
It's not competitive.
It's not. Right. So it was very convenient.
Ducky.
It was very convenient for Dan Campbell to take over the play calling against the Washington Commanders, right? Hey, I got it this week. I got it this week, guys.
Man.
I got it this week. Hey, we got the Eagles next week. Maybe you'll take over that week. But this week, I got it. No, because I know he'll continue to do it. But I do worry about Washington a little, right? Just to hit on them for a second.
5 straight losses.
5 straight losses. I don't see a silver lining in their roster. That's what I'll say. Jaden Daniels, yeah. Okay, there's a few players, but D-line, nothing special. They're the oldest team in the NFL. Deebo Samuel, okay, you're giving him a lot of money. I mean, he's not special anymore, right? I know Terry McLaurin's good, but I just look at it and go, man, they're 3-7. They might not win again for the rest of the year. They're that bad. They're going to be picking in the top 5. And then you go, they got more than just one hole to fill. They got a whole lot of holes to fill. And that's where I just big picture thing. It'd be interesting to see what Washington does this offseason.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do. And even you look at, they gave Javon Kinlaw a lot of money.
They overpaid some guys.
When they did that, I was like, he was the worst player on the Jets last year.
They overpaid some guys where I think the whole league looked at it a little bit and was like, what? I would never give that kind of money to that guy, right? So that's surprising. Even the little splash of the pot to Deebo Samuel. I mean, I just go, why? I mean, have you not watched the 49ers? I don't know what you're looking at. So that is a little surprising there. And you see Daron Payne, he got suspended for his
punch
right hook. That was like, incredible. Holy crap. That was like he winded up and tried to kill him there.
Yeah,
that was a pretty crazy moment in the game.
I'm actually surprised it could have been more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I
guess it was more of how the punch was taken,
right?
That it wasn't more.
Yeah,
I think if he hit the floor, it's a 2 game. That's how they judge those things.
It might be.
By the way, maybe we do a deeper look at this throughout the week, but on the surface level, the Lions, what was different under Dan Campbell what was there?
Right.
So they ran 11 personnel over 67% of the time. I would imagine that factored getting J-Mo involved.
Didn't we say this last week? Didn't I say I think they're in 12 personnel too much? I think they're playing into the hands of the defense.
Yes.
At some point, I think 11. They were too late to turn to 11 personnel last week against the Vikings. So this is when you got 3 guys in the pass game that are legit weapons, and really 4 when you add Laporta into it. I think you're scaring a defense a lot more than we put Brock Wright in with Laporta. And now we're a little bit more limited in our formations and the way we can attack you in the pass game. So, I would hope that this is the thing that we see continue going forward.
And they also mixed in a little 21 personnel. They did that 5 times, but they threw out of it 4 of the 5.
Interesting.
So they went with the 2 back, 1 tight end.
We're going to overpower you, and then he drops back with probably a play-action pass and gash you that way.
So maybe something we'll check in, but on the surface level, definitely a little bit of no, we're going to get a little bit more 11 personnel.
That's good. That's good to
kind
know.
Of and against a Washington team, you can do
that too.
You could absolutely do that. Right. So really interesting.
We got some other headlines here, right?
Yes, the homies are weighing in here. Brian S. said headline: Capital Punishment Hill.
I like that.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
D. Sauter said the real Gibbs torches Washington.
That's very good with the Joe Gibbs play there. Very well done. Very well done.
Dr. Ganja, Dan Campbell Applebee's commercial wasn't an act.
No, it's not anymore. It's real life. That's for sure.
The last one from K. Gemma, Dan Campbell goes full commando on the Commanders, calling plays again.
That would be great. The only thing that would be better than that is him wearing his underwear commando style on the sideline calling plays. That'd be great.
That was Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai. We're taking our last break. When we're back, Chris spoke with Caleb Williams after the Bears' big comeback win over the Giants.
Yo. Thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.